everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy. I'm a military wife and homeschooling mama to 3 little girls who are currently 3.5, almost, well, actually she's closer to 4. She'll be 4 in October. My second born is 2.5, and then this little one was just born 8 weeks ago. Yeah, she's almost 2 months old. My older two are currently playing around. They are currently playing. Hopefully it's not too loud in the background for y'all. But I'm really excited for today's video because I wanted to talk about 4 lessons I have learned while homeschooling little ones. They are very, very little. They're not even at school age yet, but I am still homeschooling them. They are in what Charlotte Mason would say as Kinderleben. Before jumping into the lessons that I've learned, I want to just start off by saying I haven't mastered these things yet. It's more like just things that I'm learning and things that I have to keep sort of telling myself. So that way, these are probably going to be things that I need to be telling myself our entire homeschool journey, but I have by no means arrived. That being said, let's jump into today's video. Number 1, my child's age matters more than my own expectations. So for me, I have constantly forgotten how old my daughter is. She is, like I said earlier, she is 3.5, almost 4. I have started homeschooling her in my mind since she was about 18 months old, just reading poetry, reading read-alouds at a really young age, and her attention span is really, really good. But I was expecting attention spans kind of beyond what was her capacity, honestly, and I didn't really start expecting too much until she turned 3 and she started showing more attention span. But then I started stretching it a little bit farther. The read-alouds were amazing. It was more like when we were doing like the gentle table time, it turned a little bit from gentle to like I wanted to just kind of go a little bit too far. It would be like about finishing what was on the page. It would be more about like, okay, I believe in her so much and I want us to be able to finish this together. I'm like, oh, I want to like check off all the beautiful things, and it was just a little bit too far, and I forgot that children learn through play. What do you? Oh, it's beautiful. Is it like a birthday candle? Thank you. I love it because Daddy's birthday was yesterday. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. Lost track of what I was saying there. But I need to remember constantly that, you know, they learn through play, they learn through music, movement, just constantly like kind of doing life together, being able to recognize when to give grace and when to pull back when necessary. So my husband and I are having to constantly sort of remind ourselves, just gentle reminders, honestly, whenever we can see each other sort of maybe getting frustrated, not just with homeschool, just kind of like with everything in general, that, hey, she's 3, instead of expecting too much. Number 2, structure is helpful, but pressure is not. And this is sort of curtailing off of what I was just saying about how I need to remember that my child's age matters more than my expectations, but pressure is making me push too hard when I realize I shouldn't. I actually have a video on why we choose structure in the little years, and structure is amazing. I think it brings peaceful routines to our days, and it gives us something to return to, you know, on sick days or whatever, just life is going a little bit crazy. We're going through a move right now, overseas move from Hawaii to San Diego, and through that, structure is going to help us kind of return back to our peaceful routines. However, structure can turn into pressure when it's about finishing the lesson instead of just making learning joyful. What I have tended to do, we started the Good and the Beautiful preschool. We actually recently just started the Good and the Beautiful preschool, and it was a really kind of a humbling reminder to stop when it's too much, because the first few lessons in it were great. They weren't too much. I think they were like a page, and we were finishing it, and it was joyful. And then the lessons started getting a little bit longer, and I kind of wanted to finish the whole thing, or, you know, I was making it so in my head, like, oh, she needs to learn this letter, and then we're moving on to a new letter, and like it was just kind of moving on to new letters a little too fast for her. It was coming to a point where she said she doesn't want to do school anymore. It was feeling like a little bit too much pressure, and I was not realizing when I needed to pull back. Right now, actually, we are stopping it completely. We are not, I might pick it back up later, but it is like a lot of repeat, a lot of fluff in it. But this isn't a review about The Good and the Beautiful. It is more about me being able to recognize when to pull back and see that the structure is helpful, like doing the workbooks. I love the workbooks, okay? But learning when to pull back when it's just becoming about checking a box. I'm actually returning to Gentle and Classical's preschool curriculum because she is so joyful when we do it. It's just a little bit more work because I have to redo the board every week, but we just really need to get back to just fostering the love of learning and relationship, love of God and his world. That kind of leads me into number 3, which is the goal is relationship, not completing the lesson. Kind of like what I was saying with learning how to give grace. I need to constantly remind myself that the goal is relationship, not completing the lesson, because whenever I'm doing a workbook or just any type of lesson, like with The Good and the Beautiful Preschool, or reading a read aloud, I need to remember that the goal is connecting with my daughter to foster a love of learning, because sometimes I get in my head like, we need to finish this book because she needs to be able to become a voracious reader. And then I just start thinking about the next 10 years and like who she's going to be through this reading or through this lesson. I put so much pressure on like the identity of it instead of just focusing on the relationship. Ultimately, that is what matters. It's through homeschool we have this gift of being able to build these deep relationships with our children and do that through learning. And then we get to ultimately point them to Christ, and we want them to learn that God's world is amazing and learning is amazing, but it's not going to happen when we're like, you need to learn your ABCs like right now. I'm not thinking that in my head, but maybe I am. It's like subconsciously I'm like, oh no, she doesn't know A, and like we need to be at a certain point before kindergarten, or she is like going to be behind, and I just start thinking about all these external pressures that aren't really there, that they're not necessary to worry about this second. She's only 3. So the last lesson that I've learned so far is honestly the most important part, and that is shepherd your own heart first. I've learned that if I've come to the homeschool table irritated, like I'm rushing to the next thing, or I'm trying to control everything, then it doesn't matter how beautiful the curriculum is. It doesn't matter if I'm doing even the Gentle and Classical one where it's this beautiful board and I have everything set up where we're learning I can do hard things and what else did God make? It doesn't matter, because none of that will matter, because my children aren't going to experience just the lesson that's being learned. They are going to experience my heart posture and my attitude, what I am bringing to the table, so to speak. I love that Charlotte Mason talks about how the education is an atmosphere, a discipline in a life, and that is so true. Whenever I am teaching something, if my heart posture is like frustrated and irritated, that is what they're going to get. They're going to get that, oh, mommy doesn't want to be doing this today, and then they start misbehaving more because they're feeling disconnected from mommy. My desire is to ultimately point them to Christ, but I can't do that unless I'm abiding in him first. Mama sets the atmosphere of the home. The work truly does start in the heart. So surrendering myself to the Lord before trying to shepherd my little ones' hearts is honestly the most important lesson that I have learned so far. Those were the 4 lessons that I have learned so far while homeschooling little ones. I hope I wasn't too rambly. It was a little distracting with my little ones running around. I hope and pray that this was an encouragement to you to keep going and to remember that pointing our little ones to Christ, the most important part of homeschooling, and it is the most fulfilling thing that we can do as mothers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.